Katie here again from Creativa, and today I'm doing a tutorial on how to make this curiosity cabinet. This is an SVG file for electronic cutting machines. I use a Cricut, but you could also use a Brothers Scan and Cut, a Silhouette Cameo, or any of the types of machines that use SVG files. And this is all the pieces that come in the SVG files. The pieces in blue are the pieces that I've cut out of cardstock, and the pieces in pink are the pieces that I've cut out of design paper. So there are score lines on these pieces, so you will need to either score them manually or attach the score lines to the pieces before you cut them out. So I have done several videos on how to do that before. Not for this project, but I will link one below. It's for a different project, as I say, but the principle is exactly the same. So the cardstock that I'm using today is this here. It's a 65 pound or 176 GSM cardstock. It's not super thick cardstock, but I find that it's perfect for this project. I've actually used the 12 by 12 sheets to cut this out, but I didn't have a pack that wasn't open that I could show you, so I just wanted to show you that that's what I'm using today. So I'll pop that away. So let's start with making the center of our curiosity cabinet. So it's got two little side pieces on each side and then a center cabinet in the middle. So for the center cabinet, I have cut some bits out ready to go. My little stash of bits and pieces here. So this project probably looks more difficult than it actually is. So that's good news. So this is my center cabinet back piece. So it's the piece underneath in blue. I've cut that out of black cardstock. Then I've cut out two of the center cabinet sides, also out of black cardstock. And that's these two here. And so my Cricut's done the score lines for me, and I've just folded them over ready to attach them. The center cabinet base and shelves, I've cut 5 of those out, so they look like that. There's 5 of those. And then the center cabinet top is this funny little guy here with the teeth on each side, and it looks like that. Then I've also cut out 4 of these cabinet doors, so 2 of this one and 2 of that one, and they look like this. So I've got 4 of those. I'll just squish that one up. And the mat underneath of the cabinet doors I have cut out of acetate, so it looks like this. It's a bit grotty, and I've cut 2 of those out. Okay, so that is all we need to make the cabinet. So let's get started. I'm going to start with the center cabinet top, just because we need to glue it together and it needs a little bit of time to dry before we use it. So let's grab that one. I'll just pop this to the side. So this is the toothy bit, and the first thing I wanted to show you was how to fold these over so that you get a nice neat finish on this side when they're all folded over. So I've got a few SVG files in my Etsy store that have these little teeth edges, and I just find this is the easiest way to fold them over. So you need a ruler, and you need a bone folder, and mine's filthy, but never mind, and also your little Cricut weeding tool. And what I do is I line my ruler up either on the edge of the teeth or on the score line, whichever is easiest for you. So here I'm going to go with the score line. And then I just hold my ruler down and I just come under each one and flick it up with my little weeding tool, like so, all the way along. Right, so I have to warn you, I have 4 dogs in the house with me this weekend. I have 3 of my own, and then I'm looking after my sister's dog while she's away for the weekend. So if you hear barking and I disappear, I've gone to tell them to be quiet. So then once I've done that, I just grab my little bone folder and just run it along the edge like this a couple of times. And then you have a nice finish. So then I can take that off and fold it over, and then when I push them in underneath, I have a nice straight line and I don't have any little pokey out bits. So I've just found that that's a really handy little tip that I wanted to show you, and I've already done that side just to save a bit of time. So now I'm just going to take some glue, and the glue I use is what I can get in Australia really easily. So this is Helmar's Tiger Grip glue, and if you're in Australia I just get it from Spotlight, and I find this one to be the best for construction. And then for putting my mats on, I use this other clear glue, also from Spotlight, and it's just Crafter's Choice craft glue, nothing special. But you use the glue that you like, and in Australia we don't have quite the same easy range or large range of easy to access glue. So I know in other parts of the world people really enjoy using art glitter glue, and I can get it here, but I have to buy it online, and I'm just way too impatient for that. So I'm just going to glue down one side of my little teeth like that, and then I'm going to put my mat on it straight away. So I've already cut my mat out, so that's the pink piece on top here, and I've already cut it out. And today I am using a paper pack by Cara Brandon, who's one of my favourite designers, and she's just released this new Halloween pack, and I love it because it's got all these tiny groovy little bits of ephemera that I'm going to put inside my little Halloween cabinet when I'm finished. So I'm just going to cut this out, glue this on. So I have just printed this on my inkjet printer. This is 100 GSM paper. I probably would have preferred 120, but I picked up the wrong one. Never mind. And it's from Hewlett Packard, I think, HP paper. So the teeth are here, so I'm covering up these teeth that we've just glued down. And I'm just going to pop this mat on here like this. Make sure it's fairly well centered. Give it a good firm burnish. I want to make sure it's really well attached, particularly along here, because we're actually going to bend this, and if it's not really well stuck down, then when you bend it, you can see where it's coming away. So we're going to bend it like this. And can you see where I haven't put enough glue in there? So I'm just going to get my little fine liner doobie out here, which I find really good for when I miss those kind of places. I'm just going to poke it under there. And give it a, make sure it's stuck down. Just try it again. Still a little bit wonky here. Just along there like that. And then I think my next door neighbour's mowing the lawn, so you know, I've got all sorts of noise going on today, so I apologise if you hear any of that. A soundproof studio would be great. Alright. So, you know, if you took a little bit more time about it, you wouldn't be having this problem that I'm having now. I'm trying to get this glue under here. Okay, that'll do. So now I'm just going to pop that to the side to dry a little bit before we carry on. I'll just put some lids on some glue so they don't dry out. And we can go on to the next section. So now we're going to grab our centre cabinet back piece, this one here, and our two cabinet sides. It's these two guys here. Oops, not that bit of acetate. And we're just going to join these together. So let's just pop that to the side. And I'm just going to put one on one side and one on the other. So I'm going to put some glue along this tab here. And then just lay this down on here and line it up on that score line, like so. Make sure it's lined up. Get glue everywhere. Doesn't matter. No one will know. And then I'm going to do the same on this side as well. So we've got this tab up the top here where that rounded bit is, and the bottom is all flat. And pop this one on here. Line it up along that score line. Give it a good press. Might flip it over and give it a bit of a burnish. Make sure it's attached. Okay, so that's our base piece. So now we're going to fold each of these sides over and glue those down. So they're just going to make the edges of our cabinet a little bit stronger and just give it a bit of a nicer finish than if it was just a cut edge. And just press that down. Burnish that one down. And the same on this side. So the side cabinet pieces are even easy because it's all in one piece. I'm going to press that one down, like so. Okay. And then we need our base to hold it all together. So we're going to take one of these base pieces or shelves here. So we'd cut 5 of those out, and here's one of them here. And we are going to first of all glue one of these tabs in on itself to make it a little bit stronger and give it a nicer edge. So we can do that. So I'm just going to put some glue along here and fold that over. And glue it down. I think I just need to grab a little wipe so I can wipe out my gluey messes. Oh, I don't know where they've gone. Maybe I used the last one. Oh, here we go. Just got this wipe here that I can just use to wipe off the glue. And just little bits all over that, so let's get that off. Okay, so now with this tab that we've got, this long tab that we've got here, we're just going to put some glue on that one as well. And then I'm going to attach that to this bottom piece here between those 2 lines, like so. Just going to line that one up. Check that I've got that lined up. I'll line my little tabs up. Could come over this way a little fraction. No, I'm not quite happy with that. Let's pull that up again, put a bit more glue on there. Stuck it down a little bit quickly. Okay, maybe if I turn it to the side it might help. I don't know why I have to do that, but okay, that'll do. I'll give that a little burnish, make sure it's nicely attached, and wipe up my glue. Just check the back. Oh, a bit of glue there too, Katie. Good job. Doesn't matter, we won't see it. by the time we're finished. And anyway, it will dry clear. Okay, so that's our base. So now we need to actually do a little bit of measuring. Not much, I promise. So I'm just going to grab a pencil. Let's hope I've got one here that's got some lead in it. And my ruler. And from the bottom, I'm going to measure, I'm going to measure 5 centimeters or 2 inches all the way up. So I'll just line this up. Actually, I might do it along here. Line that up along there. And I'm measuring every 5 centimeters or 2 inches. 15, 10, and 5. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 little spots there, and I'm going to turn around and do the same on this side. And this is just going to help us to line up our little shelves that are going in there. Nothing worse than a wonky shelf, although I tend to have wonky shelves anyway, but that's okay. At least I can say I tried. And then I'm just going to rule a line across each of those. 1, 2, 3, and the last one, 4. Okay, so they're just our guidelines for attaching our shelves, which is what we are going to do next. So let's just put this to the side for a second and we can talk about our shelves. So we need 4 shelves, and that's these pieces here. So we used 1 for the base, and then we have 4 left that we're going to use for shelves. So this is one of those, guys. And the first thing we're going to do is once again fold in that tab, one of these long tabs here. Again, it's going to make our shelves a little bit stronger and a little bit neater. Like so, give it a burnish. Do it on both sides. A bit of glue on there. And then for every shelf, I need 2 of the little mats that go on there. So I've got 4 shelves. So I need 8 mats, plus I need 1 for my bottom base that we've already attached, this little guy here, because it's the same piece, it's the same size. So we're going to cut out 9 of those. And here's some here for my shelf. So this is going to be the front edge of my shelf. So I'm just going to attach a mat on each side. I find it's much easier to do this before you put the shelves in. So I'm just put some glue on here. Oops, I'm going to try anyway. Oh, a little bit thicker paper would have been great. I'm going to pop this one on here, like so. Give it a press, give it a wipe. I don't seem to be able to put anything down without having to wipe glue off it. And then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm also going to put one on the back here. So that's this one here. So our shelves are lined on both sides and look neat. So what I think I'll do is put this cabinet together in this tutorial, and then I'm going to go off and decorate it and put all my little bits and pieces in it, and then at the end I can show you what it looks like. So I can't wait to do the decorating a little bit. Okay, so there's our shelf. So now we need to do that for all the other shelves. So I did work ahead and do that already. So now I have 4 shelves exactly the same. So they're all ready to go. So now we can put our shelves in our cabinet. So we can bring our cabinet back. And where we have these lines is where we're going to put our shelves. So I'm going to push in the side tabs just to make it easier to line up, because we're going to line each one up along that line like so. And I'm going to put some glue on this tab here. And I'm just going to turn it sideways because apparently that's the only way I can do it. And I'm just going to line this up along there like so. So that it's sitting nice and carefully lined up along that line, just so I have fairly straight shelves. Let's have a look how I do. Looks alright. So just flip it over and oops, give it a burnish, make sure it's attached. So I'm just going to do that all the way down here for all of these 4 shelves. Okay, so I put all my 4 shelves in like this, and they just flip like this. They're a little bit like a waterfall at the moment. So this is a good time to put our mats in between each of these. So let's have a look at those. That's each of these mats here. So I've cut one of each of these mats for the centre back, and I have got this little collection of those here. So I can attach those in between here and then this one on top. And then I'm also going to put my mat for my bottom bit of the cabinets on here as well. So that is just as a reminder, this little one here. So, and then I have also cut out these 5 little pieces here, one for each side. And that's these little guys here, but we're not quite ready to put those on yet, but we have already cut those out. So I've got 10 of these little side mats. Okay, so we'll just pop those to the side. And I'll just go ahead and put all of these mats on now. Okay, so I have put all my mats on here. So it's all nice and neat. I don't know why I used the same paper all the way through, but I did, so I don't know what I was thinking at the time. It'll be fine because we're going to put all sorts of things in the cabinet, and then you won't hardly notice. So the next thing is this little piece here that we got all ready before and we were leaving to dry. We need to attach that now. So we're going to attach it around the top here. This is a little bit tricky. First of all, we're going to just fold these tabs to the outside to get them out the way. And then we're going to do is put some glue on each of these little teeth and then attach them all the way around like this. Okay, so it is a little tricky, and no doubt I'll make a mess, but never mind, I'm good with that. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little dab of glue on each one of these little teeth. Probably put too much glue on. And then starting from one side, I'm just going to put that little tooth under there. I hope you can see this all right. And I'm just going to hold it down with my finger, and then I'm just squishing it around and making sure that it's really tight up to the edge of that piece of cardstock there. And I'm just going to do that all the way around like so to the other side. And just give it a good push. Now I need to just make sure that I've got it all set up there. So now I'm just going to make sure that it's really firmly up against the edge. So I like to just give it a bit of a push with my bone folder, and this little bit's popped out of here. I'm just going to make sure that it grabs that glue. That's why you really want some construction glue that works quite well. And I feel like it's maybe not attached as well as I'd like it around there. And let's bring that around here like this. Okay, and then I'm just going to flip it over and make sure all my little teeth are attached. sometimes I don't get enough glue on them and they need to just be glued back down again, but this looks alright. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it like that to set up for a minute. I'm just going to give it a bit of a push. I don't think I've done a perfect job of that, but I don't think anybody will know, you know. I can see a little bit of daylight through there, which I can't always see, but I'll just sort of train it around a little bit, like that. And we can fine that up again when we get to that bit. So now we're going to attach these side bits of our shelves to these side bits here. So we've got those lines there to help us line it up. And so what I'm going to do is put some glue on the tab, and then I'm going to pull up my side piece. So I might need to push these in. Pull up my side piece and line it up on the side there like that. And then I'm going to use a little bulldog clip to hold it in place. That's the theory anyway. Alright, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue along here. And then I'm going to pull this up, and I'm lining it up with my pencil mark that I made before. It's really hard to see on this black once I pull it up, so I'll just make sure that I've got it where I want it. Yeah. And give it a press. Oops. And then with my other set of hands that I wish I had, I'm just going to put my bulldog clip on there to hold it in place. And then I'm going to do the same all the way down this side and then up the other side. So I'm just lining it up with that pencil mark, trying to, if I could see it. Where is that pencil mark? I cannot see it. There it is. I could see it when it was laying flat, but as soon as I turn it up, I can't see it. Okay, and then with my other set of hands, I'm just going to put my bulldog clip on there to hold it into place. Alright, so I'm going to do this all for these last two, and then I'm going to do exactly the same thing on the other side. Okay, so I'll be back when I've done that. Okay, so I've pulled up my little side pieces and attached each side of the shelves to those, and I'm just holding them there with bulldog clips at the moment. So now we need to just do exactly the same thing with our bottom piece. We're going to pull it up and glue these side tabs to the outside this time. So let's go ahead and do that. Put some glue on here and some glue on here. And bring it in and attach that one on that side. And then the same on here, attach that one on that side. Like so. Looks pretty good. I want to make sure they're pretty well attached. And then on the top, we're going to put some glue on this tab and flip it over, and then attach it to this piece here on this side, lining it up as best you can on the inside. So we're going to do that as well. And that is our center cabinet pretty much done. I'm going to put some glue on there, and then I'm going to flip that tab over and line it up with that top section. I think I've done okay. I can't really see. What I do have is a bit of glue that I need to clean up. Can't really see how well I went there. Let's have a little quick look. I'm sorry you can't see it at all. How did I do? Got heaps of glue hanging out here. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Make sure that it's attached. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. Might need to give it a little bit of a assistance to get into the right spot. a lot of glue on there as well, Katie. And then I'm just going to flip that tab over and line that up to hold that side together. And that looks pretty good too, apart from that glue. Let's have a look. How did we do? It's okay, it's okay. So it looks a little bit wonky at the top, but that's okay because once that glue sets up, we can train this top section a bit, but also these sides are going to be squashed together with our side pieces of our cabinet. So once we've done all that, then let's pop that aside to dry and let's have a look at the doors for our center cabinets. So I've already made one of the doors to save us a bit of time. So here's my door here. It's got a flap on this side. It's got the acetate here, and it's got the black cardstock piece on this side and also on this side. So it's got a nice finish. And we're just going to attach it to our cupboard, our cabinet with these tabs on the side. So that I've done one, and so let's do this other one together. So I have got two of my cabinet doors because we're going to sandwich them together, and then but in the middle of our sandwich is our piece of acetate. Okay, so let's put this over here. And then, so this guy here, I've already folded in this tab, and I'm just going to make sure that that's nicely sitting down, like so. And then we are going to attach our piece of acetate to that. So I've done this a few times and I've messed it up, but I think I've got a little bit of a way of doing it now that's a bit better. I like to use my fine liner glue stick bottle, and I'm just going to put a bit of glue on the top section here. This is how I think it is easiest to get the acetate attached without getting glue all over the acetate. And you see, I've said that, and now I'm going to make a horrible mess. So that's the inside. So the tab's coming in, and that's the side we're putting the glue on. And then it's messy before I've even started. Then I'm going to take my piece of acetate and I'm going to line it up at the bottom where I think it needs to go. So it's a little bit smaller than the actual door itself. And then I'm going to hold it there, and then I'm going to place it down like this. Whoops. And I wobbled. Like so. And then the chances of getting glue everywhere are not so terrible. Okay. So then we need to hold this bit and flip our acetate up and hold it in our hand and put glue down the rest of the spots where we need it to be. So the first time I did this, I put glue all the way around, and then I tried to put my acetate on top, and I just ended up with glue all over my acetate because I didn't line it up properly the first time I put it down. So I'm finding this the easiest way to do it, but you know, if you've got a better way, you should definitely do that. Okay. There we go. I need to put a bit more glue up here by the look of it. And then I can just flop it down and give it a good press. And this is why we're going to put another piece of the door on top to, first of all, it will make our door stronger, but also we won't see any of this. I don't know how I got that glue there. Despite my best efforts, I managed to get glue on there. Okay, it's not too bad. I'm usually a bit of a gluey mess. Right, so let's put that aside. And what we're going to do is attach this one onto here. But we don't want this tab on here because it will make it too thick to bend. So I'm just going to get out my cutting board. I'm going to line up that score line that my Cricut's made along there on my cutting board, like that, and I'm just going to trim off this tab. Okay, so that's that little tab gone. So then we can go back to this guy here, get our piece ready to go, and we can put our glue on top again. I'm just going to do it the same way. I'm putting the glue on top of the acetate this time. And I'm going to put some on top here and across there. Then I'm going to line up my door as best I can along the bottom corner here. My in camera, I seem to have been working my way off over to the side, and line it up down here. I'm trying, but the acetate's really slippery, like so, and hopefully by the time we get to the top it will be fairly lined up. Okay, and then I'm just going to wiggle it into position with hopefully not having made too much of a mess. See, you can see, I don't know if you can see, but I've still managed to get glue all over the acetate, even when I'm trying really hard not to make a mess. But it's okay. I find a little bit of Windex and we'll get it off. So I'm just going to press that down along there, along there. And then we can do the same thing. So I'm going to flip it up and put glue all the way around the rest of it and then seal it up. So I think I'll go away and finish doing this to the door and let it dry for a little bit before we attach it to our cabinet. So I'll be back in a minute once I've done this. Right, so here's my door, and I did my best to clean it off. It's not perfect, but I will probably stick my fingers on it again, so I might wait till the end to try and give it a real clean up. So the other thing I wanted to tell you is we're going to fold this little tab over and attach it to the side of our cabinet. But if you've done what I've done, which is I haven't trimmed enough off this inside piece here so it doesn't bend over very well, then what I do is just fold my tab to the outside and then grab my scissors and just trim that little sliver of cardstock from that little back piece that we put on. I'm just going to just trim along the edge there because I didn't line it up very well on my cutting board. Just going to trim along the edge there like that. It's like 2 millimeters, if that. But now my little tab folds over a bit better. I might need to do it a little bit more along here if I can. I don't think I can. I think I'll just have to live with that. Okay, so then I can fold my tab over to that side and burnish it down. Okay, so there's our door. So we need 2 of those. So I've already made this other one just to save us a bit of time, and they're going to go on the front of our cabinet. So let's get our cabinet back again. Should be pretty dry by now, so I can pull these guys off. And all we need to do is put some glue along this tab here, and we're going to attach this guy to this side, and then we're going to put some glue along here and attach this guy to this side, like so. So let's do it. Put some glue along here. And I'm going to attach this one on here. So I'm most trying to line it up at the bottom because we don't want it to drag on the ground and not open properly. So I'll stand it up and make sure that it's not touching the ground too much. And then I'm just trying to line that tab. It feels like it's slipped down a little bit. Have a little look-see. Looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. I think so. So then once I'm happy with that, I'm just going to give it a little burnish down the edge like so. And that's that one done. Now our bottom is sort of bowed out a little bit, but that's going to sit down, so we really don't need to worry about that. And we probably need to just train our little center section into place, but that will also get better once we attach the sides. So then we can put some glue on this one. And then I'm going to pop this one on here like so, and I'm just going to try and line it up with the one that's already attached, so that my little bottoms line up, and that should make my top line up. Pretty good, not bad, not bad. So once we squash it into place like so, it will be better. Okay, so I'm happy with where that's sitting, so then I'm just going to give that little burnish along there as well. And that's our center cabinet done. Alright, I've got a little bit of glue oozing out here, so I might just give that a bit of a wipe. And that is our center cabinet. Now, choices about how you're going to close the doors if you want to close the doors. Make them stay closed. I mean, you might not want to. They're pretty good like that. On my prototype, I put an eyelet in here and an eyelet in here, and then I just tied them up with string or ribbon or something like that. Or you could put a little bit of chain through and dangle something off there. I haven't quite decided what I want to do yet, so I'm not going to do anything right now. But that is an option for what you could possibly do. Otherwise, you might come up with something even better. So I'll leave that up to you. So I'm going to pop that on a side to finish drying off, and we're going to make our side cabinet. So there's two side cabinets, one for each side of our center. I've already made one just to save some time, and we're going to make one together. So this is my side cabinet. It looks like this, and we're going to attach that one of these to one side like this, and then when we make the next one, we're going to attach it to this side like this. And this one has doors as well. So these are the doors. Let's put this to the side. Let's grab this out, and I can show you what we need to cut out. So let's start with the doors, the cabinet doors. I've made them exactly the same way as I made the center cabinet doors. They're just a different shape. So they've got that rounded shape at the top, but they've got acetate in the middle, and there's cardstock on this side with the tab, and then the cardstock on this side where I've cut the tab off and I've sandwiched it all together so that it will fit on here like so. Okay. So that's how you do the doors. So for each one of these cabinets, you need 2 doors and 1 piece of acetate. Right. Okay, and then we're going to make this cabinet here. So to make that cabinet, we need one of these pieces here that says side cabinet, and I've cut out the one that's in blue, and that's this piece here that I've cut out of cardstock. So that looks like that. And then we also need the side cabinet base, which is this piece here. We just need one of those, and we also have one of those funny little top sections again as well, which is the side cabinet top where we've pushed the little teeth in. So the construction is exactly the same as we did for the center cabinet, but the side pieces are already attached. So we're just going to put some glue on these little guys here and fold them over and push them down. Make sure they stick. And I'm just going to flip it over and give it a good burnish, make sure they're attached. Okay, and then on the side where the teeth are, I'm going to attach a mat. So that's this side cabinet top mat. I've cut one of those out. And that's this guy here. So we're going to attach him to there. So let's get some glue. And put some of this on here. So these side cabinets, I have not done them with shelves in, but you'll notice that when we made the center cabinet, the piece that we used for the base of the cabinet, we also used for the shelves. And so if you wanted to put shelves in the side cabinets, you could do exactly the same thing. You could use this little guy here, which is our base, as some shelves, and you could put them in exactly the same way. The only thing is that the mats are just one long piece on the side cabinet, so you might need to trim them down to fit. I'll show you what I mean when we get to that stage. Okay, so make sure that that's got a bit of glue on there. I still feel like I could do with some more on there, but maybe I'll just fix that up later so that you don't have to sit here and watch me go through that rigmarole again, although that's really going to bother me. I'm just going to have to do that, sorry. Just put a bit of glue in here. Down like so. Okay, I'm just going to leave that as it is, and I'll just put my pin in my little glue needle thing there because it's terrible. Okay, and we're just going to leave that one to the side, and then we have this base piece here, and again we're going to fold in one of the bottom longer tabs because it's going to give us a neater edge. I'm going to pop that down like so, glue that down. Wipe up the glue. Okay, so then we are going to bring out this piece here, which is the side cabinet piece, and we can attach this bottom section here. I'm just going to line that up on there. Bring those little tabs in so I can see whether I've done a good job or not. Looks good. Give it a burnish. Same on this side. Okay. So now, because we don't have any shelves, we don't have to do any measuring, but we are going to fold these tabs in again on the sides just to give it a bit of extra strength. So I'll put a bit of glue on here and fold that guy over and burnish him down. So I hope you can see that it's a pretty easy project, but it does look quite nifty when it's done. I put some little lights that I would like to try and put in here as well. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do that yet, but I'm sure that it's possible. Okay, so that's that side done as well. Okay, so I've already cut my mats out for this one. So that's these two here, these three. So we've got the center one and then two side ones. Now the side ones are like this, long or one piece. If you wanted to put in little shelves using the cabinet base, which you can do, which is this piece here, you can put them in the same way that we did for the center cabinet. Then all you'd need to do is use one of the mats from the center side cabinet and just trim off each one of these into five little mats like that, and then you could put 4 more little shelves in the side there as well if you wanted to. Okay, I hope I explained that. But anyway, I've got these 3 mats here. And I also have my little bottom mat here. So I'm just going to, oops, don't need that. I'm just going to pop my mats on now while it's nice and flat. Pop this one on here. Like so. Press that down. It's not very straight, Katie. I might need more coffee. Okay, and then we can put our center mat pieces on. So this is my mat that I've cut for my center section. Out of Cara's paper. It's got this cute little bit of lace down the side and some flowers at the top. I liked that. I thought that was gorgeous. Okay. Okay, so I've popped my mats on that whole thing now. So all we need to do now is attach this top section around the top, and we're doing it in exactly the same way as how we did it for our center cabinet. So I'm going to fold those tabs back just to make it a bit easier, and then I'm going to put some glue on each of these teeth. And then we are going to attach it. I always get a bit funny about this bit. I don't know. It's a bit trickier. Alright, I'm going to just slide my top section around, pressing my finger down as I go around, hoping that that glue will catch all the way around to this side like so. And I'm just going to press my fingers around there. I find the hardest bit to catch are these edge pieces here. Just give it a good burnish in there. And yeah, see, it doesn't want to catch. Come on, come to the party. I'm going to ease it in around the edge there again. And you can see where I haven't glued properly and it's kind of crinkling. But I can live with that. Or I can go back and try and fix it later. Okay, how did we go? We caught? Not bad. So then we can bring these side bits up again and put some glue on these bottom tabs and bring those sides in. This side's a little bit easier because we don't have to put any, well, I'm not putting any shelves in because I've got this idea that I want to put a skeleton in one side of this, and I don't know, maybe a stack of something in the other side, like so. And of course you could do, I've done this with one center cabinet and 2 side cabinets, but you could make it, you know, all 3 little cabinets, so like this, or just the center cabinet, or whatever you like. Okay, and then I'm going to put some glue on this tab here, and we're going to bring that up and around. This bit keeps kicking out, so hopefully this tab here will now help to hold it in place. Bring that tab in like so. Glue that up. And then the same on this side. Just make sure that's stuck down. And then we'll put some glue on this side. Try to anyway. And pop that on there like so. So that tab's on the outside. Okay, so then when I'm happy with that, there we go. So there's our other one. So it's a little bit on the wonky side still, but that'll fix itself. Don't worry about that. Okay, so that's one. Okay, so then what we're going to do is I'm going to put my door on last of all. But now we can attach the center and the two sides together. So bring our center in, and I'm going to put some glue all the way down one side and glue that side together with that side, and then put some glue all the way down that side and attach that one to that side like that, so that we have one solid unit. I also like to use a bit of masking tape. Where's my masking tape? Just to hold it together a little bit. So let's just do one together. Alright, so I'm just going to put some glue along here. Okay, and then I'm going to just sandwich this one to this one like so. And give it a minute to set up. And then I'm just going to flip it over to the back and make sure it's well firmly attached at the back section as well. And I like to put a bit of masking tape down here and also on the bottom just to hold it nice and tight. And we're going to attach that to something else, so you won't see that either. So let's get a bit of masking tape. Let's start with a fairly straight edge. And I think it needs to be about that long. So I'm going to make sure that they're nice and firmly attached. Might need to spin it around a little bit. I'm going to put it on one side, like so. And then I'm going to sort of squeeze them together and then attach it on the other side like that. Okay, so then we should be nice and firmly attached, and we might just need to burnish that a little bit, or you might need to put a bit more glue in there. And then I'm going to put a little bit of masking tape on this little bottom section too, so it doesn't try and get away from that side. So put a little bit of masking tape on this bottom section here, like so. And then I'm going to do exactly the same on the other side and sandwich that together as well, like so. And you can see that it's going to bring it in a little bit, and it makes those sides a little bit firmer. Right, so let's do that. So I'm going to line this one up with this one, like that. Give it a good press along the edge there. Flip it over onto the back, like so. Make sure that's nice and stuck down. Okay. We need some tape again. How long was that bit? About that long. And once again, I'm going to attach it to one side. Probably could have gone a bit lower down. Never mind. I'm going to make sure that it's, whoops, without squashing it, I'm going to make sure that it's buttered up against there really nicely, and then I can press it on like so. And I've got a little bit of tape dangling over the top there, but I can fix that up later. See that little section there? And then I'm going to put a little bit on the bottom here as well. I'm just going to bring that in and attach a bit of tape along there. Keep that bottom section together. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to do is, well, so the last thing I'm going to do is attach these doors. So I won't bore you with that, but essentially one of the doors is going to go on here, and then one of the doors will go on here, like so. Okay, and you're just going to attach those by putting glue down here and attaching it to there like so, and the same on this side like that. It's pretty nifty, hey? And then I'm going to attach the whole thing. I've cut this cabinet back out, so there's a blue piece under there which you can't really see, but I've cut that blue piece out of cardstock, so that's this piece here. So what I would do is flip this guy over. I put glue all over this, and then I'm going to attach this to the back, and it will just give it a little bit of extra strength and neaten it up on the back as well, if that's what you want to do. And then the pink piece on top is a mat, so if you want to have a nice mat on the back, you can cut that pink piece out and attach it to the back there, and then it's nice and neat from the back as well. And I also forgot to put my mats in the side of my little center cabinet, so I already had them all cut out, these little guys here. So I'm just going to glue those up and put one of those in each of these sides here. But I did show you those before. Okay. What else? Mats to mat around the edges. So for these top sections here, if you want to make those nice and neat with a nice mat on them, you'll need to cut out the center cabinet top, one of those, the pink piece. And then the side cabinet top, you'll need two of those in the pink piece. So the center one will go on the outside here, and the side ones will go on the outside on each of these sides here. Then if you want to put a mat on this side here, you'll need to cut out one of these for each side. So this side cabinet piece here on one side, and a side cabinet piece here on this side. But you would not do that until after you've put your doors on. So after you've attached it to here, then you can put your doors on. Just glue them and pop them on like that. And then you'd put your side mat on so that those little tabs would be all covered up. Okay, so I hope this video is not too long, and I realise that I haven't quite finished it, but I think the rest is just, you know, sticking that back on, sticking those doors on, and then putting my mats around there. So in the next video, or I'll probably release it first, I will fill it up and pretty it up and show you my Halloween curiosity cabinet. So thanks very much for sticking around, guys. I hope you give it a go. It's not a difficult project, but I think it looks kind of cute and specky and would make it a lovely little thing to have in your home, or I'm going to take this one to work and put it on my desk. Thanks very much. See you guys soon, and bye for now. Bye.